Hey everybody, Allie Craig here for EmpiHER magazine, and on this week's episode of The Details, we are talking about tone and why tone matters. When people think of tone, they always think auditory, the tone of your voice, which is very true, but also the tone of your words, the tone of your materials. Everything that you do has a tone to it. When you have content that is with lots of white space, the tone is that it's freeing and fresh and new. When you have lots of text everywhere or too many graphics, no place for the eye to rest, if it's on a print piece or on your website, the tone is overwhelm and hibernation. Never a good thing. So what is the tone of your current brand? Many times we don't stop to think of the tone, especially the tone of the words that we're using, especially on sales pages. So for this conversation, let's focus on the sales perspective. Many times the tone that we put on sales, we don't even like. It's that slicky, icky feeling. It's the false limiters. It's the just formulaic approach that doesn't really work. The tone isn't genuine. And far too often when we either entering the sales conversation or sales page copywriting, our tone switches from one of love, one of service, one of knowledge and really owning our expertise to almost hesitation. Or if we're not hesitant about it, we're so ballsy pushy that it's not us either. It's not unapologetically truthful. It's just bitchy. And we've all been there. And the worst thing about that type of tone is that when someone doesn't say yes to you, you almost toss them to the wayside. Interesting thing just happened similar to that with a friend of mine in Vegas. We were in Caesar's Palace. We were walking through this cut through. We passed by this store and it had this really beautiful caftan in the window. And my friend was needing one for a trip she was going on. So we went inside and we went and looked at it and we saw a couple of other pieces. She pulled a couple of items and the sales associate opens a room. She's pulling all dress-like pieces. Well, in the end, they were okay, but they weren't like, wow, amazing. So when we told the sales associate that, yeah, they're nice, but they aren't super great or they're too close to something that she already has, instead of being hopeful, her tone switched. Her tone, she started pulling items that had nothing to do. She started pulling jumpsuits and shirts and things and here, try this, and literally throwing things at my friend, which of course did not make my friend happy in the least. And when we said, no, thank you, that's not really what we're looking for, and she realized the sale was not going to be made, this friendliness leaves and her tone completely changes. She is like, well, great, have a nice day. The words were technically nice, but the tone wasn't nice in the least. Same holds true in person as it does when it comes to written words, if that's your website or print collateral or social media. So make sure that your tone is right for your audience and make sure that your tone is consistently you. That doesn't mean you can't have a bad day. It doesn't mean that you can't be sassy or cheeky or quirky in any way. Just be you consistently throughout everything. And if you do that, your tone will always be spot on.